Ladies and gentlemen, may I please have your attention? Please have your tickets in hand before you board the plane. Thank you.
Hello and welcome, I'm Johan Castell and you're watching Wings, brought to you from right here in Surajkund, Mela in Faridabad outside of New Delhi. On the show today, from one spectacle in India to another one in Italy, we cover the iconic Venice Carnival as the country gears up for the Winter Games. Also, a Viking fire festival in the UK and the latest updates from South America. Let's start. From myth and masquerade to medals and modern sport, Italy dons its most iconic mask once again. It is time for the Venice Carnival, ahead of Italy's Olympic countdown.
Masked revelers, flowing capes, and centuries of tradition filled the streets of Venice as the world-famous Carnival returned to the lagoon city, this time with an unmistakable Olympic twist. Crowds gathered around St. Mark's Square as visitors in elaborate costumes posed for photographs and performances, turning the historic city into a living stage. Running from January 31st to February 17th, this year's Venice Carnival is titled Olympus, at the origins of the game. The theme celebrates ancient mythology and sport, linking the city's cultural legacy to Italy's preparations for hosting the Milan Cortina Winter Olympics and Paralympics in 2026. As anticipation built ahead of opening day, revelers embraced creativity, wearing Olympic-inspired outfits and even playful disguises, ranging from Venetian costumes to those of popes.
Of course, we're carrying the Olympic torch. We take a tour of Venice, so it will bring luck to the Italian athletes. That's the only medal we want to see.
Well, the Olympics represent the whole world, all nations, just as Carnival encompasses the whole world, and the whole world loves the Venice Carnival.
The Carnival officially burst into life with one of its most iconic spectacles, a colourful water parade along the Grand Canal. Dozens of brightly decorated boats, crewed by rowers in elaborate costumes, moved through the lagoon as crowds lined bridges and canal banks. Leading the procession was the legendary Pantagana, a giant rat-shaped structure that has long symbolized the Venice Carnival. As the parade reached the Rialto Bridge, the Pantagana released a dramatic shower of confetti, creating a swirling explosion of color over boats and spectators. The event marked the start of weeks of celebrations that included masked balls, street performances, and cultural events, drawing visitors from around the world. This year's Carnival carries special significance as Italy prepares for the Winter Games in Milan and Cortina d'Ampezzo in February 2026, with cultural showcases like the Venice Carnival adding momentum to the Olympics. As ever, the streets became a playground of imagination. Traditional Venetian costumes stood alongside modern interpretations, Olympic symbols, ancient gods, and contemporary satire, all reflecting Carnival's timeless spirit of freedom and expression.
Well, the atmosphere is definitely one of joy for the Games, which should always be valued, just like sport. In short, we should be proud that the Olympics are here in Italy this year and that Italy has so much to offer.
The Venice Carnival's roots stretch back centuries. It is believed to have begun in 1162, when Venetians celebrated a military victory over Ulrich II of Treven, the Patriarch of Aquileia. What started as public celebrations with street games, dancing, and bonfires slowly evolved into a citywide tradition. By the 18th century, the Carnival had become one of Europe's biggest attractions, drawing visitors from across the continent. Festivities stretched for months, turning Venice into a hub of music, masquerades, and gambling, often described as the Las Vegas of its time. Masks played a central role in carnival life, allowing people to hide their identities and blur social boundaries. As Venice celebrates its past while looking ahead to 2026, the carnival once again proves that here, history doesn't sit quietly in museums. It dances through the streets, floats on water, and lives behind a mask.
So we are at the Surajkund Mela right here in Faridabad outside of New Delhi. We're going to have a look around and show you what you can do at the Mela when it comes to snacks, handicrafts and experiences. Let's have a look around. Every year, just outside New Delhi, color, craft and culture come together in one of India's most vivid cultural gatherings. The Surajkund International Crafts Mela, held in Faridabad, this annual fair transforms Surajkund into an international platform of traditions, where the artisans, performers and visitors celebrate heritage through art, attire and cuisine. Walking through the Mela feels like traveling across countries without leaving the grounds, and you quickly realize just how vast the Mela grounds are. Rows of beautifully decorated stalls showcase handcrafted products from textiles and pottery to jewelry and wooden artifacts. Among the crowd favorites is the traditional turban tying experience, where tourists step into the deep cultural traditions of India. With every fold and wrap, the turban reflects regional identity and pride, giving visitors the possibility to connect with traditions in a hands-on way. So I found a Haryana stand here at Surajkund Mela in Faridabad outside of Delhi, and I got a turban experience. There's two ways to do this. Either you pay, I think, 350 rupees and you can buy the turban, or you pay $100, 100 rupees, to wear the turban, take your photos, and then hand it back, which I will do right now. The Mela's biggest highlights is the grand cultural parade, which caught us completely by surprise. Participants from across Indian states and international delegations walk among stalls in ethnic attire, showcasing music, dance and folk traditions. The parade really turns up the volume, and lots of tourists and visitors had their phones out to record this vibrant spectacle.
My experience has been great so far. I visited earlier as well, and it always feels nice to come back to the fair. The children enjoy it too.
It feels really good to be here. I enjoyed the fair because people from different countries have come together here. It's a great initiative by the Haryana government.
Visitors from across India and abroad say the Mela offers something special.
Overall in India, I think it's the UP theme. So they have good garments of UP, a lot of handicrafts. And then for the international fair, they have Egypt, Istanbul, and many other countries.
Of the Surajkund Mela as itself, it's also getting our country recognition that, alright, India has this big fest here that's like actually proving to be a platform for different cultures to come together, and it's also helping the people to know about the different cultures that are present there. So it's overall helping with geography and general knowledge, I'd say.
For artisans and shopkeepers alike, the Surajkund Mela is a platform that connects them to global audiences. Local craftsmen share space with international participants, exchanging ideas, techniques and stories.
Art form culture जो है ये राजस्थान का है. Basically,
This represents Marwar culture. These are fabric patches made from cloth pieces, which we use to create decorative items, from wall hangings to bags.
all decorative items बनाते हैं. Wall hanging से लेके और बेड रनर्स होते हैं.
I am coming last 7 years. My father is coming 25 years. He know also understand Punjabi language, Hindi language, all is handicraft, never machine. Yes, all is Turkish products. All is upper one is Turkish man making. This only glass is Turkish woman is making.
Our experience is lovely. It's fantastic. We love India. It's because people love to shop here. It's very populated. People really love clothes. Nowhere else in the world do they love clothes as much as they love clothes in India.
No visit to Surajkund Mela is complete without its irresistible food trail. Visitors can enjoy street favorites like pav bhaji and freshly made paneer rolls, or try the seasonal traditional makki ki roti and sarson ka saag. But for me, the biggest hit was the unique, giant, syrup-filled jalebas, which I have not seen before. The moment of truth has come. It is time for the jaleba. I've never seen such a big jalebi. I guess that's why it's called jaleba, like a jumbo version of the same. They just made it fresh right in front of us. We were luckier than most. Still hot. They're so crispy, warm and juicy. Wow. It's just dripping in, what is that? Is that ghee? Is it sugar? Wow. Unique experience in Surajkund. Surajkund Mela is a tribute to craftsmanship, tradition and culture, a place where art is lived, worn, performed and shared. And every year it reminds visitors that India's diversity is proudly celebrated. Let us take you now to the Shetland Islands in the United Kingdom, where a Viking fire festival was recently celebrated. This annual festival marks the end of the Christmas season. Take a look.
This is the Shetland Islands, located about 80 kilometres north of Orkney, or about 170 kilometres north of mainland Scotland. The biggest and northernmost significant settlement in the UK is the island's main town, Lerwick, which is home to around 7,000 residents. Here, on the far northern edge of the United Kingdom, winter darkness meets ancient tradition. In the remote Shetland Islands, locals gather every year to honour their Norse roots in one of Europe's most dramatic winter celebrations, a fiery celebration of Viking heritage. Shetland's connection to the Vikings runs deep. For centuries, Norse settlers shaped the island's culture, language, and identity. Today, that history is brought to life through this festival, where residents dress as Viking warriors, known locally as geysers, and recreate the spirit of their seafaring ancestors. As night falls, the town of Lerwick transforms into a stream of fire. Thousands of torchbearers march through the streets, carrying blazing flames and chanting traditional songs. At the heart of the procession is a handcrafted Viking longship, built specially for the event and paraded through the town in a spectacular display of craftsmanship and community pride. The climax comes when the longship is set ablaze. Torches are thrown into the vessel, and the replica ship is quickly engulfed in flames that rise into the night sky. This powerful ritual symbolizes the end of winter's darkness and the renewal of light. But the festival isn't just about spectacle. Across Shetland, halls come alive with traditional music, folk dancing, and storytelling. It's a celebration of identity in which history is lived and passed from generation to generation. Every year, travelers from around the world brave the cold to witness this unique winter tradition. Hotels fill up, flights are booked months in advance, and Shetland becomes a cultural hotspot, proving that heritage tourism can prosper even in the harshest climates. From torchlit streets to burning a replica longship, the Viking Festival of the Shetland Islands is a spectacular event. These traditions have survived for centuries, carried forward by communities who refuse to let history fade. In the cold winds of the North Sea, the Viking spirit still burns bright.
From colorful carnivals to ancient rituals, people across South America celebrate culture, faith, and innovation. Let's take a look at some of the most striking stories from across the continent.
First, we take you to Peru, where the streets of the capital city of Lima turns into a canvas of color as dancers parade to honor the Virgin of Candelaria. The festival is one of Peru's most important cultural celebrations and has been recognized by UNESCO as intangible cultural heritage. The traditional costumes and folk dance steps represent faith and people's religious beliefs, drawing both residents and tourists into the celebrations.
We're more than 3,000 dancers here because there are more than 60 groups that pay tribute to the Virgin of Candelaria, Puno's patron. Every year in February, we take to the streets to pay homage to the Virgin of Candelaria, to ask for blessings.
Now we take you to the rural city of Mangajurco in southern Ecuador. Here, nature puts on its own spectacle. After the first rains of the season, thousands of guayacan trees bloom, turning the dry forest of Mangajurco into a sea of yellow. The scenic phenomenon lasts only a few days each year, attracting visitors from across the country and abroad who are happy to see what many call a natural miracle.
Very unique, honestly, seeing the Guayacans. The whole environment is beautiful. It's nothing less than a paradise, so to speak. What we have here in our beautiful Ecuador.
It's really something I had never seen before. Several hectares covered with the little trees, with yellow flowers, the guayacanes, and it's worth it.
Off the coast of northern Chile, a unique experiment is aging wine beneath the sea. Bottles are stored in metal cages on the ocean floor, where constant temperatures, low light, and pressure create ideal conditions for maturing wine.
The reasons for having the wine under the sea are diverse. First, the temperature is constant through winter and summer, so throughout the year it's constant. For this reason, it creates a carver effect. There's a negative pressure that also helps wines stay in their best position. And third, the light. We have less light under the sea, which also helps wine evolve better.
Entrepreneurs behind the project believe underwater, aging enhances the texture and quality of the wine and could also become a new tourist attraction.
You can feel the tannins are silkier, softer, you feel a more elegant body. A wine, you can feel that evolution from being aged underwater.
The experience of going underwater for the wine is incredible. Scuba diving is so entertaining, but the best was reaching the cellars where all the wines are.
Now we take you to the coastal city of Salvador in Brazil, where devotees gathered at the beach at dawn to honor Yemanja, the Afro-Brazilian goddess of the sea. Flowers, candles, and offerings were placed into the ocean, with worshippers seeking blessings for peace, prosperity, and protection.
It's about reaffirming our ancestry. We need to believe that faith moves mountains, and I tell my children that Yemanja gives like sand in the sea, meaning abundance. So I ask for a year of light, peace, good changes, responsibility, and above all, faith.
off to the capital of Brazil, Rio de Janeiro. Here also, devotees have flocked to the beach with flower offerings in honor of the sea goddess Yemanja. People with baskets of flowers head to the city, carrying out spiritual rituals and pouring flowers into the sea.
To celebrate Yemanja is to celebrate the balance of emotions, of the spirit, of spirituality. For us, this day is very important. I think in the context of Rio de Janeiro, we are experiencing a racist attack against Afro-Brazilian religions. Holding a giant popular festival like this is a great victory and a major achievement for our communities and for the popular culture of African origin.
Over to some other spectacular events in Rio de Janeiro. The city's skies came alive as helicopters from Spain's Air and Space Force performed a stunning aerial display above Ipanema Beach, marking 100 years since the first single aircraft crossing of the South Atlantic. From ancient devotion and rare blooms to aging wine under the sea and conservation in the sky, South America continues to tell powerful stories of identity, faith, and renewal.
In Sri Lanka, an annual pageant has turned over the capital city streets into a live stage. Thousands of people gathered to witness this cultural spectacle that included elephants, dancers, and drummers. Let's take a look.
The streets of Colombo turned into a live stage as Sri Lanka's annual Buddhist pageant took place before a sea of spectators. Locals and foreign tourists lined the roads to witness a procession that blends religion, history, and art. Dozens of elephants dressed in traditional costumes and decorations led the parade. They were followed by hundreds of dancers and drummers from across the island, representing regional styles and rituals carried on through generations. The two-day pageant is considered the biggest cultural event in the capital, playing a major role in connecting the new generation to their cultural origins.
This is a special pageant. Our children are slowly moving away from our culture. This is a good way to get children interested in our culture.
The colorful costumes, beat of the drums, and choreographed moves of the performers carry a symbol of prosperity and blessings.
Elephants and so many type of dancers. Each dance has all special meanings here, and for prosperity, for rain, for more things for the ages. Sri Lankan people was for their benefit to get prosperity for themselves.
As drum beats echo through the streets and dancers move in perfect sync, the pageant preserves the cultural identity of Sri Lanka, carrying on the country's rich roots to younger generations.
That's all we have for you on the show in this week's episode of Wings, but we'll return with more travel content for you next weekend. Until then, it's me, Johan Castell, signing off. Goodbye.